Egg the cat. Hi, Egg. Hi, Egg. Good morning, friends. It's Alicia from Providence Farmstead. It's just starting to drizzle, so I don't know how much footage I'm going to get today. But we moved the goats yesterday and the chickens, and they got to come down here closer to the road, but I think it'll be good for them. There's lots of good grass there. Good morning, babies. So hopefully nobody mistakes my pretty girls for deer, and we're fine. We do get some spotlighters around here and it worries me. But the real reason I came down here was because I missed getting a ride. I actually have, the boys are all down here. Matt's working on a project. The boys discovered May. We drove down in the car to the gate. She wanted to go for a farm dog. Hi! I missed my ride, so I drove down to the gate. I think those jeans about had it, bud. So gun season started on Saturday, and my husband's time is prime right now. So getting him to do any projects for me is surprising. Especially considering his mom just had surgery and he may have to go back to Evansville. So we'll see what happens. Might go hunting?
Yeah, we might go hunting.
That's all you care about, right?
We jumped 4 yesterday.
I know you did. So here I thought we were pretty well done with garden cleanup for the year, but Matt decided to go ahead and till and cover it with some cover crop one more time because a lot of the cover crop got washed out. Our neighbors. So a lot of our cover crop got washed out. So we're going to till one more time, put a little more cover crop on the spaces that are not planted, and hopefully be able to put the garden to bed for most of the year. Most of my plants did not survive the frost that were not covered. So turnips had a sad time of it, and the beets really had a sad time of it. They are, in fact, I don't think Matt saw where the beets were, and he covered most of them up. The radishes had a sad time of it. Everything in the tunnels is doing just fine. Hopefully they'll get a chance to grow some more. The lettuce is getting pretty big. So in the meantime, Matt's getting a little more tilling done. Like I said, it's hunting season, so getting anything done on the farm is a blessing, because definitely the boys would rather be somewhere else. Look at all that pretty dark dirt. Our soil is pretty darn healthy, I would say. And it's going to have lots of volunteers. Looks like some pumpkin over here. Things in here are looking pretty darn good. Just wait for them to grow a little more. I'm not sure how much the garden will grow next year. I have to sit and draw it out, and it hasn't. Drying out and planting the garden usually happens in January. We'll see what happens. Kind of lost your carrot? Your catching carrot? It was a rough looking carrot, guys. Apparently they lost it. Oh, there it is. Is that it right by your feet?
Catching carrot.
That wasn't nice. So the chickens got moved again. Hi, chickies. I would love to get these guys out of this chicken tractor, but it has to wait a little while longer. Well, the tiller ran out of gas, guys, so we got about half of it done. It's gonna rain tomorrow, so I'm gonna go get some seed, bring it out here, and see what I can get done.
Is that a scientific method on pounds per foot?
I don't know. I just know that you overseeded it a couple years ago, and I don't want to make it that thick.
Or too much or not enough? You decide.
Still is. Just lightly rake them in. That way they can get covered up with dirt. Yep, like that. Thank you. Don't leave humps of dirt though, okay? Try to smooth out the humps. I have to run in and mix some more seed. So you could go up to here and go this way and go backwards so you're not walking on it if you want to.
Then I can get it done even faster, but
Okay.
maybe a little bit like right here, and then I'll.
Okay. All right. Okay, as I was saying, I have to run back in the house and mix some more seeds. We use cereal rye and hairy vetch mixture, and I'll have to give you the amounts later because I don't have them right in my head. I pre-mix it, and I don't remember exactly what it was. So I'll get that for you later, but meanwhile I've got to go get some more seed. Sawyer found a rake without a handle and he's helping out too. Well, don't sink! So you have the recipe for mixing your own. It's a little bit cheaper that way. I'll also leave some links of some good places to pick up cover crop. I wanted to take a second to mention a couple of things. My husband asked me today why I YouTube. And, you know, it's not all about trying to become monetized for my family, at least not for me. Originally, I thought, how cool would it be to be monetized? But over the course of everything, this has been a way to document our homesteading and farming journey. More than anything, it's a record for my kids. Someday they can say, oh look, this is what we did when we were smaller. Because this is very much a hands-on family farm here. We are all in this together, and that's the way we want it. And that's the way we feel God led us to have it. I feel like God wanted us to be working together as a family on a farm. That's where we felt led to be. So don't cover them too much. You're covering it too much, baby. Be careful not to cover it too much, very lightly, okay? Anyway, you know, this is important to me to show my family someday, my kids someday when they're older, what we did and how we lived. And that's the biggest reason I do this. And also, as a side, in addition to documenting our family, for our family, also, you know, people who are interested in our farm and maybe want to purchase something from our farm can go and say, hey, let's see if these people are good people. Let's see how they raise their animals. Let's see how they grow their garden. Let's see if they live a sustainable lifestyle that we believe in. So that's why I feel led to YouTube. So I hope you enjoyed that little chit chat with me. All right, guys, I'm going to go get some more seed, okay?
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. They switched rakes. Hey everyone, it's Alicia from Providence Farmstead. I am past Thanksgiving. We're into the holiday crunch now, but there's still a few things that I needed to do out in the garden. So I had just a couple of small patches that didn't get covered with cover crop. So I went to the local feed store here in Charlestown and picked up a bag of wildlife feed mix. Basically, it's a cover crop for deer. But I figured it would work for the garden right now. It was the right mixture of stuff I felt like would be beneficial to my garden. So I did the corner, and I still had a lot left. So I was kind of walking around the garden, sprinkling it in places I thought looked a little thin, and I sunk in my garden. Look at this. Gross, right? So let me show you what's going on here. I didn't put any cover crop over here because it's where the strawberries are. But do you see this like trench right here? that is from mold damage. And I'm trying not to walk through here as much because I'm sinking. And if you look, let me get on this side. If you look here, it goes back up underneath there. Water is just running through there. And then it picks back up over there and keeps going. If you look right here, look. The moles have gotten so bad. They've just gotten so bad, they've pretty well taken over this garden space. In the summer, I noticed a couple of spots where they were coming through, and I could tell that they were starting to be bothersome, but nothing like this. This is nuts, guys. Let me show you some more. So I was over here on the back side of my tunnel, and that's where I sunk the first time. Look at this. I was trying to cover it up, and I think I was just making it worse. All of my footprints have filled up with water now. But yeah, they were like 6 inches deep at least. Here we go. I mean, you can see I was just sinking. So, obviously this is a problem. And it's one that I have been worried about since we moved out here, because when we first started coming out to the farm, before we knew we were going to get a part of it, we noticed there were a lot of moles, and I was really concerned about what that would mean for, especially for things like perennials like trees and such, but definitely for my garden as well. So I there's a few options. There are some mole traps that are pretty vicious. We have never tried that. I don't know if they actually work or not. The one idea that I'm thinking about trying, though, is I recently got a catalog, which I'll have to pull it out and show it to you. And it has farm supplies in it. And it looks like the best thing that I might be able to do for my garden is nematodes. The nematodes will work on the grubs, which is what's feeding the stinking moles. So maybe, just maybe, the moles will go away and move on. Last year, I didn't see even half of the Japanese beetles we had the year before, which makes me wonder if it's a 2-year cycle for the larvae. Something I will definitely look into, because I want to know, because these are things that eat my garden. But year before last, the Japanese beetles were horrible. They were just horrendous. They were everywhere. And I'm wondering if there's just a ton of larvae in the garden, and that's what they're going after. Now, when Matt tilled, I didn't really see any grubs, but there has to be something that's drawing these moles in. Plenty of wood. We are good and toasty. So this is Arbico Organics catalog that I got, and this is what I was telling you about. So there are several different nematodes that you can order through them. So it has this great grid where you can match up what you need help with. So like Japanese beetles, it says the blue triangle and the red star. Grubs, the blue triangle and the yellow hexagon. Say I want to go ahead and make sure I don't have any problems with corn earworms this year. I didn't grow any corn last year because of it. Or any other things like fleas, flea beetles or fleas. And so you match up what you need and you figure out which ones you need. So this one covers the blue triangle, the green square, and the orange circle. So this is the one I'm probably going to order for my garden, because it will help with the Japanese beetles and the grubs, also the earworms and the cucumber beetles, which I had a horrendous time with this year, and a couple of other things like flea beetles that are important to me. So I feel like this is the best way to fight the moles at this point in time, and also to benefit my garden in the long run. While I am on here with you, the Japanese beetle life cycle is only 1 year. I don't know why the moles are so much worse, because I sure didn't see as many last year. So what exactly are beneficial nematodes, you ask? Well, beneficial nematodes are live microscopic organisms that basically invade the larval stage of pests, and they're a parasite to them. It's not the actual nematode that kills it, but it's the bacteria from the nematode. And they destroy the pest. The bacteria typically kills the pest, from what I understand, within 2 to 4 days. So it's fairly quick, and then the adult nematodes can produce hundreds of thousands more baby nematodes, which continue to keep the pests down in your garden. My next question was, how often do I apply beneficial nematodes, or can I go ahead and treat now that it's getting cold? And you can treat all 4 seasons. And if you're trying to prevent an infestation, that's the best way to do it. If you already have an infestation, you can treat with beneficial nematodes for, I think, every 7 to 10 days or so. And then help control it, and then you can just use the preventative beneficial nematodes from there. So you're best to use them as soon as you get them. Put them out in your garden and not store them. You can store them in the refrigerator, I believe, for up to 2 weeks, but it's best just to go ahead and get them out as quick as you can. But that will be part 2 of this series, so I will let you know how that goes whenever I figure out how many nematodes to order for my garden. I will talk to you soon. And I took the boys to Cedar Creek Draft today. They race draft horses and Frisian horses, and I got a couple cute pictures to show you guys, and I'll catch you next time.
Like a bird on a tree, I'm just sitting here.
So that's it for now. I hope you enjoyed hanging out with me and maybe learned a little bit, because I'm learning too. And I hope you had a beautiful Thanksgiving. Stay safe and warm out there, and have a blessed holiday season.
World seems small. We can sit together. It's so beautiful, you and me.